If you are a fan of lightweight GPI with a ton of FOC arrow and a micro diameter with every single piece of penetration, and maybe a really cool cresting on it, look no further than the all-new Altra Phantom for 2026. So I've known about this arrow for quite some time. Levi has been hunting with it. Levi Morgan, obviously the world famous target archer and bow hunter, has been hunting with these for a while, and I was able to get my hands on it earlier in bow season, take a couple of deer with it, and take it out in the woods a bunch, tune it up, test it, and see how this 166 Phantom arrow works. Now, I'm just going to call it the elephant in the room. No, I do not know if they're going to make a 204 or a 246 lightweight offering like the Phantom 166, but it wouldn't shock me. Supply chain issues in 2025 were still a problem, and it wouldn't shock me if those came out later. I do not know that for sure. I'm not special enough to maybe know that for sure, but I have a pretty good guess that in 2026, maybe 2027 at the latest, we'll see other offerings of the Phantom line. But for now, it is the 166. This is a premier straightness arrow. So this is the 1000 straightness arrow in the Phantom. It has an updated half-out footer system that is new from the original Centrum series, the Limited and the Premiers. We'll talk about that in a minute. Also is sporting the new vanes. I forget the name off the top of my head, but they do look really nice. They're really sharp, and obviously had great broadhead control, being in that that kind of slightly higher yet not super too high profile vane. I think they actually look pretty sharp too here from Q2i. Obviously they're the Ultra branded ones. This arrow right here was responsible for 2 deer, my buck in Pennsylvania and my buck in Ohio. Tons of great success tuning this arrow. Really liking 300 spine is 8.5 grains per inch. 300 spine is 8.5 grains per inch. I don't think I've shot a sub 9 GPI arrow since like high school. 300 spines are usually, and I'm a big standard diameter guy, are usually like 9.3 to 10 and change in a standard diameter. For example, the 246 Ultra Premiers that I shoot a ton, I've killed a ton of deer with, they're 9.7. So this I was able to, in a 30.5 inch carbon to carbon arrow, 30.5 inch carbon to carbon arrow, I'm able to shave off over a full grain per inch. So we're talking, this is 30 some grains lighter than my standard arrow. So my standard arrow is around the 480 grains, 485 with a lighted nock. This, even though the footer system's a little bit on the heavier side, comes in closer to the 460s. So I get a little bit more speed out of it, tons of penetration in a 166, and the durability has been obviously great. There's not even a scratch on the cresting. All the vanes are still intact. I'm actually still using the same standard G-Nock, 166 lighted G-Nock. The Phantom, it's an arrow, right? It's a carbon tube, so there's not a whole lot to talk about, but I do want to talk about this footer system, as this is definitely an update from the Centrum and the Limiteds last year. All right, so this is a 204 over here. This is the 166. Even though this is a slightly larger diameter and a 5 mil, this is the construction of the 166 and 204 in the Centrum Limited and Centrum Premier 166 last year. You notice it's more of an hourglass shape, and I was very concerned that that was going to be the weak spot. Now, again, I don't shoot these arrows, and traditionally, I do not shoot anything smaller than a standard diameter because I like the insert that goes on the inside. Just seems like it's less prone to bending, particularly at my size. 31 and a half inch draw length, 70 pounds. It's a lot of kinetic energy, and I have a feeling I will bend or break a lot of half outs and outserts. So it's not my personal favorite. However, with that, I did not have a single issue with my customers last year. I sold an absolute truckload of the 204s in particular and did not have a single issue with these bending. The concept, though, is that they unscrew. So this is a two-piece, and this is true of the old system and the new system. And I'm going to take off the new system here. We'll talk about the sleeve in a second. This is the post that lives on the inside. So this post glues in. There's a O-ring here, and then you thread on and you screw on the top piece. Now with the rounded one last year, so then we're going to do that, cinch it in place, and obviously it helps if you have a right helical or a right offset so that it continues to twist that in along with the broadhead. Traditionally, I fletch everything to the left a little bit. That's just, my jig's set up that way and I just have it. But these are pre-fletched arrows, so they're the slight 1 to 2 degree offset to the right. And I haven't had a problem with these coming loose at all. If you want to glue them in place, you can. You could probably actually put like a blue Loctite on that if you're afraid of it coming loose. You'll be able to crack it loose later. Because the concept here, and I want to take this off because this is a customer's arrow. He might have this glued on here. But the original hourglass one, if it was going to bend, and this was my thought process, you could unscrew it because everything forward in this swell is not over top of the carbon. So if this were to bend, you could just unscrew it and pop on a new one, right? There's no danger of it because it's tertiary, except for that threaded part. It's tertiary to the arrow. It's not actually inside of it. This here is a straight, it's chamfered. I think it's a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, or is it 5? Yeah, it's 5, right? Yeah, it's a pentagon shape. I can count, I promise. But you can't see straight down the back. Yeah, it's a pentagon shape. So you've got 5 sides, you're able to grip something on here, be able to screw it on. Also, I just feel like the straight nature and the way it's chamfered now, it's gonna be a lot stronger. I don't have a single issue with these bending. I have this arrow spinner here, and I mean, it's absolutely nothing. It's a piece of glass. And I know this looks stupid, but just deal with it. I'm not moving the camera. I'm a one-man band. But yeah, these are complete glass coming out. And like I said, it's been through a couple deer. In terms of anything coming into it, in terms of the flushness of everything, how everything screws together, this is a lot. This is a Grim Reaper Pro Series here on the front, 4-blade. There's a lot of stuff sticking on the front end. No issues. No bending of the outsert. There's a lot of leverage that can be put on this compared to like a really short stubby fixed blade or something like that. In typical Ultra Arrow fashion, these have been really easy to tune. I'm always leery of 166 arrows because their barrel is a lot smaller. They're dynamically, oh boy, hold with me, because their barrel is a lot smaller than say like a 27. So here's my indoor and 3D arrow, the Centrum Premiers and a 27. These things are absolute telephone poles going down range because they're so much bigger, they are dynamically more stiff than a 166. Now they both are statically the same stiffness, right? If you get a 300 spine, which means when you put them on a spine tester and they're just static sitting here and you put a weight down the middle, right? They will flex exactly the same. However, because the barrel of this is so much larger, dynamically it's going to be way stiffer coming out of the bow. So when you shoot a 27 diameter arrow, you can put a ton of weight up front and not break down the spine too much and have issues tuning. So this has 150 grains up front in this 27 and it flies great both indoors and out. This 300, I would never dream of putting 150 grains of extra weight up here, right? But there's a 125 grain point. And then there's this outsert system, which I haven't weighed exactly because everything is stuck inside the arrow. But I'm assuming it's around the same as last year, which was in that 50 grain range. So I've got 175 up front here, and they still tune like a dream. So that's very impressive because usually 166 in the past, again, part of the reason why I don't usually shoot them and don't really endorse them too hard is because they break down their dynamic spine for us big guys, right? Plus also for us big guys, do we really need this much help with penetration? Well, I don't care about the penetration if the flight is as forgiving as these have been. So with broadheads, with field points, with lighted nocks, with standard nocks, and the standard 1 to 2 degree offset fletching, I've been getting groups at 50 and 60 yards that are the size of softballs, which softballs at 50 and 60 yards for me, that's basically a 50, 60 yard group, even with my best target rig. So if my hunting bow can be that accurate, yes, that's why I'm not pro, okay? I shoot in the amateur. It says average on the door for a reason. So yeah, all you guys, oh, my broadheads, I can touch with my field points at 50 and 60 yards. Good for you. Start your own YouTube channel. For the 166 hunting big guy, everything could go wrong with this arrow. Nothing went wrong with the arrow. So I'll give it 10 out of 10 in that regard, because usually 204s, a 166 and I, we're like oil and water. We just don't mix. And I find 246 arrows usually blend the nicest. So I'm very impressed. And I don't say that lightly. I know. He's sponsored by Ultra. No, I'm actually not. They don't pay me a dime to say any of this. They just sent me and wanted my honest feedback, and here it is. So yeah, shot my buck in Ohio. Great penetration. I mean, just, it was in and out of that animal, and the loudest pop I've ever heard. We will eventually have stock in of the Phantom series. They are launching this before I think anybody has this. Maybe a couple people do. I think you know exactly who I'm talking about that might have some of these in stock already. But for those of us mere mortals and mere peasants, we will be getting this in here as we progress throughout the winter time. If you're interested in checking out a 166 diameter arrow, particularly here in the Phantom series from Ultra. If you want to come down to the store, 21 North Front Street, check out not only the Phantom series of arrows, but all the arrows we have for sale, as well as any other bow, broadhead, release, sight, stabilizer, you name it. 21 North Front Street in Phillipsburg, PA. You're always welcome to check us out. If you have a question about this product or any of the products we carry in our store or I've done videos about, drop it down in the comment section below and find us over on Facebook and Instagram and DM us there. Hope you're able to get outside, enjoy the sport of archery hunting if you so choose. Go down to your local Ultra dealer and check out the Phantom arrow for yourself, and we'll get to see you next time.